Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video I'll show you how I made these miniature bases for Scions of the Flame warband. Okay, so here's all the different ingredients I used to make these. I've got some cork mats, and these are just place mats that I picked up from a local shop in England called The Range. They were like £2. And I got the Citadel skulls. I did a video on those separately, they're really good. Some fixer grout, tile grout, that was around £1.50. And I'm going to try out this Armageddon dust from Citadel as well. So I'm trying to create all different textures here. And I've got some Gorilla Glue, my favourite super glue that I've tried so far. A big bottle of just cheap hobby PVA glue, and this was £2.50. And then I've got a selection of different kind of sands and grit. This is bird sand, and for like a couple of pounds you get like a good couple of kilos, and it's so fine, really fine. So there's that one. And this is great for, it's not going to give an effect of sand, but more like tiny rocks. And then this is some old flocking material I had. It doesn't work well as grass, but it's good for just some extra big bits of rocks or dirt. And then finally, I got this great gravel. They were resurfacing a lane just down the road from me, and this gravel was really like flat and some interesting shapes. So I just grabbed a handful, and this little pot here will probably last me forever. And then finally, I've got the Army Painter Winter Tufts. And when I started making the bases, I wasn't sure if I'd use them, but I did in the end. And I got old brush. I've got my Uncle Bill's tweezers for putting those tufts on. Just a little metal tool just to apply the pastes, and then a sharp blade because I want to cut those tufts in half. Now here's the paints I used, and we've got a nice selection of black, then we've got black and red, orange, and I've got the Ushabti bone, and then that's going to be a highlight, and another highlight of orange brown, good old Agrax Earthshade, and then just a sky grey. And then for the skeletons, I've got base white and skeleton horde contrast paint. So a good mix of Vallejo and the Citadel paints. And I've just got a Citadel starter brush that came in the starter set. And then this very vegan makeup brush, which I've found is amazing for doing the highlights. It's so soft, and so that's perfect. So here's the miniatures that I already painted, and I've just laid it out so that I could kind of decide how they were going to stand and how each base was going to be different. I wanted to create like the different height between the different ones, use some skulls on some of them. You can see there, these skulls are really cool. It's such a good set, that Citadel Skulls pack. And then I've used like the cork to just create the different layers. So I want a nice variety of height here, especially for my leaders and the champion. That's the idea. And then there's those little rocks. So I've just put out on each one where I'm going to put them, making sure the space is there for the feet. I'm also going to remove this piece of scenery that comes with the Inferno priest here, and I'm going to take that off, and I want her foot to go on the rock. I think that'll look better. This crazy guy, the Immolator, is just running on fire, so I want him on some like flat land there, and I've just got a nice skull and a few rocks for him. So there he goes, he's going to stand on there just great, and I think that's really going to suit that model, and it's quite big as well. And here's the first ever miniature base I've done, and that was a little test piece for these Scions of the Flame. So there's that. That's what they're all going to look like in the end of the video. And then that leaves these three down here. These are the apprentices, but also this guy who's a bit more higher powered. I'm kind of being a little bit sneaky with his base, and I'm going to make it look like he's actually one of the apprentices there. So if I'm playing against someone, maybe they'll mistake him for an apprentice and not take him so seriously, but he does have a few extra tricks under his belt there. So that's all the bases, and all laid out ready to go. So here's the skulls that I use. They come on these sprues, and you get loads in the box. I did do a separate video on the Citadel skulls, like a review and unboxing, so you can check that out. But there they are, tons and tons. I think this would last a long time. So just to take the skull off, I just twist it off. I should use clippers, and I guess I would recommend to use clippers. And then I just take my sharp scalpel blade, and I'm just scraping away that mould line and where it's joined. I tend to like to use the blade like this rather than with a handle. I feel I've got more control on it. And just scrape that off and then that's ready. Okay, so now we're starting to assemble these. So I take the Gorilla Glue and I put quite a bit on there. I'm going to fix down that big chunky piece of cork. So I want quite a lot of glue, and I don't care if it spills out or goes around the base because we're going to completely cover it in all the different basing materials. So I just squeeze that on, give it a chance to set. Then once that's almost set, I just put a bit more glue and I'm putting down where I want the little skull to be and just fixing it in. The idea is this is kind of hidden and tucked away, and if one old battle someone had the head cut off, it's going to roll and find its way in amongst the other rocks and everything. Then I'm putting more glue on and then just resting that other larger piece of cork on the top. So I got a little bit ahead of myself here, and I should have put another rock or two where that skull was. So I've just popped a little bit of glue and then got my little piece of gravel that just fits in there perfect and just pressed it in. And there's my champion. He's going to go on top. He's the brazen champion, and that's going to give him that extra height as if he's coming down on someone beneath him. And here we are. I've glued all these little stones on as well, just in the same way. And now I'm going to take a piece of cork that I want to cover those skulls and stones, and this is going to give a nice height to my leader. So I just use the base just to trace around with the blade a little bit where I want that cork to come off, and I just tear it off. And you want this nice and rough. This cork gives a really good texture, so I'm just picking at it. You could use little pliers or tweezers for this. I'm just picking at it with my nails, taking off little pieces and just adding to the different texture to make it more realistic, give it more character. For me, I really want these bases to kind of tell a little story about where the warband's from. So they're out there hunting these fire beasts, and they're going to be in like the wastelands, a bit of desert ground. It's going to be rocky, and there's caves around there. So I want my kind of terrain for the bases to reflect that. And again, I'm just putting some extra rocks in there. And then I'm moving on to my fix and grout. This is tile grout. And you can see this is like a fine, powdery texture to it. And that's going to give a nice rough ground. I'm just going to cover that on all the black area and also on the top of the cork. I'm going to avoid as much of the cork as possible because I like the texture that gives. But I'm just smearing it in and just kind of covering up the seam between the black base and the cork and the skulls. This also just changes the height, so in some areas it's higher than the other, and that's just going to be nice to look at. And then on the top, I don't want that really smooth cork there, so I'm just rubbing it all on and then using my finger just to rough it up, give it some extra texture and patterns, making sure I don't leave any fingerprints, and just getting that all wiped off around the edge as well to clean it up. And there we go, that's all dry now. And now I get the Gorilla Glue out again, and I'm getting ready to put on this bird sand and the kind of thick flock. And I start with the thick flock first. I'm just sprinkling that in closest to the main bits of cork, and then covering the bird sand over the rest of the glue. And just tapping it off to get rid of the excess. Dotting the glue around where I want it to fall. And this glue is also going to, when it sets, give a little bit extra height and different texture. And again on the surface here, I don't want that to be dead flat, so I'm just adding a little bit more variation and being mindful where my miniature is going to be stood, so I keep it flat where it needs to be. And there we go, that's all that applied now. And now I just want to give a little bit more pattern to that flat area because it's a bit large and flat. So I'm just using this little file tool just to kind of pinch away some of that cork to put some grooves and channels in, and that's going to give a bit more variety as well. And there we go, that's that piece all done now. So that's everything glued on that we want, and I'm going to move on to the Armageddon dust. This is a citadel texture, and I just put it on with the little file tool and just spread it on. You can use a brush, but I wanted it quite flat, so I spread it on there. And again, on all the other pieces, you can see I've just dotted that around rather than covered it. And now I take my PVA glue, and just with an old brush, I'm going to completely coat every single base with glue all over it to seal all that good, nice texture in. So I'm adding quite a lot of glue, quite thick. You could add a bit of water here to help it get into the cracks, but I find I've just used a damp brush, and then I'm just going straight with a PVA because I want it quite thick and I want to seal it all really nicely. I put a little bit too much on the skulls, so I had to clean those off before it's set. But there we go. That's the PVA now, all dry, all over all the bases, and that's really going to protect it and keep all those nice textures on the base where they belong. Now they're all sealed. I got some Abaddon Black, which is a base paint by Citadel, and I just wet it down a bit, and again just with an old brush, I covered it all over the bases, making sure I was really in the gaps, and it's kind of important to get it in amongst the cork, certainly around the edges. Even though it's sealed with that PVA, it's still quite tricky to get it to take, so I put lots of paint on. Then I took my tool again and just cleaned up the edges where all those different grout and texture got on there. I used my blade where necessary and scraped away. And then there we go, all nice and neat around the edge and completely coated with PVA and black paint now. It's time to start layering up the colours. So I took some Vallejo black and red and mixed equal quantities together to make a really dark red, almost black. And I kind of stippled it on generously, really scruffily, roughing it on there, making sure I get in all the gaps again. This is going to be the main shadow, so I really wanted that in those dark places. So I put quite a bit in there and made sure it was all covered over all the different bases. With all these materials, you're going to wait a while for each stage to dry. I used a hairdryer to speed it up, and then moved on to the next layer, which was the red and orange. And for these, I'm going to dry brush. So I got this makeup brush, which is awesome, and just started with that red, just the neat red, didn't mix this. Loaded my brush up and got as much paint as I could off on the paper towel there. And then I just put like a heavy dry brush over the whole piece. I didn't want to ruin those nice shadows with that red and black mix, so I'm just making sure to go over more of the raised areas, and then as I get to those deeper areas, I'm just going a little bit lighter and just catching the edges as much as I can. And this is really going to change the whole look of the piece with this nice red coat. And you could use this same method, I guess, for Martian or desert terrain, but I really like the colours here, as it goes well with the Scions. And now moving on to the orange. I didn't bother cleaning the brush, I just loaded it up with orange, wiped it off on the paper towel, and now I'm really aiming for those higher kind of raised areas now. And this is quite rough. I'm putting quite a heavy dry brush on here, and those colours are all really going to complement each other with that deep red and black base. And once dried, that's what we're looking at. Now we're changing things completely with an Ashabti bone highlight, and the same thing here, but I made sure I took more paint off the brush on the paper towel this time. And now I'm just focusing on the edges and around the edge of the base. So I don't want to get this in anywhere where there's shadow, so I'm just flicking it on a bit more gently, and that's going to give us some nice highlight. So that's our first highlight done, and that's really bringing it to life now. You can see here those rocks are really starting to stand out. So now I move on to Vallejo Orange Brown, and this is going to be a second highlight for us. And this is just going to tone that Ashabti down a little bit, but also give some nice variation to the rock. You know, rocks aren't grey or one colour. They're usually like browns and greens and greys and reds and all different colours in them. And just with that orange brown highlight, you can really see the difference. So now I'm taking the Agrax Earthshade, and I'm going to put that in all the shadow areas. And then I'm just going to come out a little way from the shadows, anywhere where there's some kind of larger pieces of texture. But I'm not going to put it anywhere near those edges, because I want to keep that nice and highlighted and have that nice contrast between dark shadow and brighter highlights. And once that's dried, it's really added some variations to the ground, and those flatter areas now got some nice shade to them. So the final stage is a sky grey Vallejo, and this is a really light, delicate highlight. I'm barely flicking it on at all here, and I'm just going for the edges and then all around the edge of the base to kind of just give it a frame. There we go. So for the skull, I put a bit of extra pressure on it with the dry brush of grey, but if you wanted to, you could take some ceramic base white and then a contrast skeleton horde, but I liked it as it was. With the painting complete, I moved on to the Army Painter Winter Tufts. And you can see they're all different sizes here, from really tiny ones up to these bigger ones. Even the smallest were a bit too big, so I took my blade and I thought if I cut one in half, maybe that's going to look better. I didn't want too much grass here on this kind of wasteland, but I think it was important to have a few of them dotted around. So I cut it, then pulled it apart, and then kind of just worked it together into like a little pointy tuft, so it's not so bushy now. And then got my Gorilla Glue, and then I imagined where this would be growing in amongst the rocks and the skull. Put a tiny dot. Got my Uncle Bill's tweezers, and these are great if you ever can get hold of these. They're really good for all sorts of things. And I grabbed the tuft in with the tweezers, and then I just pushed it into the glue, and then while it's setting, I'm just using the tweezers to manipulate it and just put it how I want it to look. So I don't want it too bushy, so I'm really pushing it in as it's drying and trying to get it to stand up a bit straighter there, and tucking it right in against the rocks. And there we go. You can see how that's worked there. Maybe some dead grass would work better, but I like the look it gave. And now for the final stage of the whole thing, we're going to take some Abaddon black and tidy up the rim of the base. And so a nice thick coat or two of Abaddon black, and that's really going to clean things up and make this look awesome. I'm really happy with how these turned out, and these were the first miniature bases I've ever made, so I was really happy. And I think for the Scions of the Flame, this is going to tie in with their narrative, and in my mind, like where they're from and where their hunting grounds, where they would go after these fire-breathing beasts. I've uploaded another video where I show you how I fix the miniatures to the bases, so you can see how that's done. And I thought that would make a good separate video on its own. Hope this video has been helpful to you, and I'll put links to everything I used in the description below. Also check out my website where I'll do a detailed blog post about it all. All the links will be affiliate links, and in Element Games you can save up to 20% on a lot of the products. So the affiliate links won't cost you anything extra. In fact, they're going to save you money, and any affiliate sales made through those links, I'll get a small commission, and that's going to help me develop the channel. So thanks so much for that support. Thank you for watching. Please like if you liked the video, subscribe for more content like this, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.